after beyond
The Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather.
Well, apart from Hurricane Erika, we're looking at a very quiet tropics indeed out in the Atlantic Ocean. Erika now weakening. It'll likely be downgraded pretty soon to a tropical storm. It's scooting out over the northeast Atlantic at 18 miles an hour. Pressure up now to 987 millibars, 670 miles to the south of Cape Race in Newfoundland, and that'll be moving over the Atlantic pretty fast. It's not going to affect any land areas this side of Europe, but say about 5-6 days from now, it might not be very far from the British Isles, we think. Of course, it won't be a hurricane at that time. Now, as you look at it today, we can see some evidence of the weakening now. It's not quite as solid around the center as it was. Still a very well-defined circulation as it moves off to the northeast. We'll take a look now at the upper winds, and the first thing we want to notice, we have this trough of low pressure over the eastern part of the United States, extending way down to the Gulf, and some semblance of a trough is going to be out there for a good many days to come. And as long as that is there, we wouldn't have to worry very much about a hurricane coming in from the Atlantic and affecting the United States. But on the other hand, there's nothing out there to come anyway, so we don't think this trough is going to be out here, is the best we can see for the next several days. We have a low here pretty far south. That is far enough south to allow something to come north of it and to develop, I suppose. And the tropical waves that we have out here in the mid-Atlantic are very, very weak indeed. They're not even really worthy to be called disturbance. We do have a little more activity off the coast of Africa that I'll show you in a few minutes. In the Gulf of Mexico, just a few scattered clusters of showers around here and there, but certainly nothing organized, and we don't expect to see anything organized there. And as darkness begins to come in here in the East Atlantic, these waves, as you can see, have no areas of concentrated showers at all, either one of them. And now as we turn farther toward the west, though, it's become a little more interesting over Africa and just to the west of Africa. Now what we're looking at down here this afternoon has kind of flared up quite a bit in the last 12 hours, a couple twin clusters of showers there, if you will. They're pretty far south, though. This is 10 degrees south right here, so these are down here somewhere between 5 and 10, a little bit farther south than we see anything develop normally. And then we do have another disturbed area coming off the African coast a little farther north. That's coming off at about 15. Now, meanwhile, in the Pacific off the coast of Mexico, we have a hurricane, and it's the fourth Category 3 hurricane that we have seen out in that area, in the area of the East Pacific, which is pretty rare. And this one, as you can see here, has a well-defined eye, the wind 15 miles an hour. And our evaluation of the satellite pictures this afternoon is that it probably is still picking up strength. It's moving toward the northwest about 8 miles an hour. We believe the motion is going to continue more or less in that direction and move parallel to the coast of Mexico. Right now, it doesn't appear as if it's going to take a right turn and come in any closer. And that's about as well-formed an eye as you'll ever see in a hurricane in the East Pacific. So again, I suspect that the National Hurricane Center, when they put out their new advisory at about 5 o'clock Eastern Time, they might even say that this is a stronger hurricane than what it was. Trying to get up another picture here. There we are. And you can see on that infrared, look at that, right around that eye, you got that deep circular area of red, all that indicating a hurricane that is very well